Hey fans, welcome to a new preview video for OpenBVE content. As you can see, we are now sitting in a path cab. This is the cab of 745, a PA-3. This took a few weeks to compile together, but in a beta form it's ready now. So you can see that the brake handle and the master controller and the reverse key work. The air gauge needles work. The cab is photorealistic, and I've taken the liberty to place it inside a PA-4 exterior. I would assume the cabs between the PA-1s and the PA-4s are mostly similar anyway, so it's going to be interchangeable. I'm not too worried about any minute differences because we don't have access to a PA-1, PA-2 cabs because those don't exist, and the PA-4 cabs are not accessible because they are still in path hands. So this will do for now. Going to demonstrate the operation of the train. You're going to get to hear some new sounds that I compiled, and we'll get to take a look at the performance of the train. So sit back and enjoy. So you're going to notice the brake gauges on the left. You have two duplex gauges. The top gauge shows you white needle brake pipe pressure, red needle straight air pressure. The bottom gauge shows you white needle is brake cylinder pressure, and the red needle is main reservoir pressure. This shows you the sort of interesting setup where the straight air pressure is not the same as the brake cylinder pressure. The straight air controls basically the dynamic brake function, and through a relay valve, the brake cylinder pressure. So straight air pressure, full service, I have it set to 80 psi as it would be in any SMEE setup. And in the brake cylinder, I have maximum, the full service pressure set around 40 psi, which is accurate. An emergency brake pressure in the cylinder would be about 50, and you can see that when I do the demonstrations later on. But what's neat is that now you can see, as we're running, when I take a brake, the straight air pressure will go up, but the brake cylinder pressure won't, which means that the dynamic brakes are working. So that you can actually see on this setup, as opposed to, say, any New York City Transit equipment, where you would only see the straight air pressure, not the brake cylinder pressure. So as we do this acceleration test, I'm going to jabber on for a little more. You might have noticed that there are 4 points of power on the master controller as opposed to 3 points of power. In the path cabs, this extra fourth point of power is basically just to activate the field shunt circuits in parallel. So you have from off, you have switching, you have full series, you have full parallel, and you have parallel shunt. On the controller itself, it's kind of silly, but it's labeled slow. So it's labeled switching, slow, medium, and fast. Those are the 4 officially labeled points on the master controller in the path cab. So basically, I have it set up the same physics setup as I would have on a New York City SMEE equipment. So you have the switching point will bring you up to about 6 to 10 miles an hour. The series point will bring you to about 20 miles an hour. The full parallel point will bring you to about 55 miles an hour. With the addition of the parallel shunt point, if you have enough track distance, you should be able to hit between 65 and 70 miles an hour, which is the rated speed for these cars out of the factory. A little bit of history, but I believe at some point, Path did disable field shunting on their equipment, so the fourth point on the controller would basically not be functional. It would be the same as the third point. But, you know, it's a simulator, so I have it activated. A couple other things that I have coded in here that are new are we have a new loop sound and we have new door sounds in addition to new brake valve sounds. Obviously the brake valve sounds don't come off of, say, 745 because that car's not working, but I managed to look through a few YouTube videos and I figured that the sounds were similar enough to existing SMEE equipment that I could use sounds off of the R17 6688. There's a new horn sound for you. And here we are coming up on the station. So pay attention to the brake gauges. Like I said before, you'll be able to see the dynamic brakes working. There you have it, some new door sounds. At the next station stop, I'm going to just do a power off and then full service so you can really see how the needle works. The needles work on the brake gauges. Alright, there you have it. That's the new PA-1 through PA-4 cab. And we'll do a departure shot so you can see the exterior. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya!